It's been several years since the Carolina Camera last visited Basinger's blacksmith shop in Salisbury. Since then, there have been several changes here. Of course, some things never change, like owner George Basinger, as feisty as ever as he molds hot steel like this into workable tools and ornaments like these, many of them with the help of his co-worker Charlie Beaver.
That's called Swedish finish. You take wrought iron and hammer it with a ball peen hammer and put it together, and then you buff it with a wire brush on a side grinder, and then you spray it with a clear lacquer. This is a copy of a plant hanger that I saw. Most of the things that I do, I try to design myself, but I did see one of these, and I copied it fairly close to what it was. I don't remember where I saw it. Most of the time I can see something and just look at it and then come home and make it.
Those are just a couple of examples. George comes from a long line of blacksmiths, 5 generations to be exact.
Well, John, it's basically the same as it's always been, working with metal and making something for someone that needs whatever they happen to want.
Things aren't all quite the same as when George's great-great-grandfather pounded the steel. These brick mason tools are George's bread and butter nowadays. He doesn't do as many horseshoes as he used to, and there isn't a big demand for old-time wagon wheels like these. But George wants to preserve that history, and it's one of the reasons he's expanded his shop to include this museum.
I guess it's just to save a little bit of the history of this country. You know, years ago, every community had a blacksmith. They were the mainstay. They made everything that everybody needed, from the farmer to the housewife. And it was a case of being able to work and do and make a living and satisfy not only themselves but their customers.
So let's take a trip back to the days of the old-time blacksmith shop.
In the museum area, of course, everything is hand operated, and of course the blowers that are on the forge there, one of them is a Champion blower, and of course was made around 1900. The drill presses are all hand operated. This is the only way that they had of drilling holes back before the electric and gasoline engines came along, and they came up with bigger and better drill presses. The tools on the wall are just collections that we have collected. Our wrench board there I've either bought or traded for and put together, and some of them go back prior to 1900, and from then on up through one of the tools back there I even made myself.